We live in a country where division is the norm, where it is seen as something to celebrate when the life of another human being is taken or they are hurt physically in some way. If you don't believe me, you just turn on the news and social media, and it's something that's been seen over and over again. What happened in Minneapolis isn't something new. What's been happening for decades is the same old song and dance, the same old story, and we keep fighting the same fight over and over without resolution. And it's because we're all perpetuating this cycle of violence that we just can't seem to break out of. The United States of America was founded as a country. The Declaration of Independence was signed 250 years ago. In that time, once the Bill of Rights were ratified, we have had 17 amendments added to the Constitution. Every amendment is, if you want to simplify it down to its very base, it's a revolution. It's an acknowledgement that what we are currently doing is wrong and it needs to be corrected. Because getting an amendment to pass isn't something that's easy in our system of government. You need a supermajority or 2/3 vote in both the House and Congress. And even once it gets past this obstacle, it still has to get ratified by the states. 38 out of 50 states have to agree that this law needs to be put into place. 17 times since the original Bill of Rights, we have tried to fight and add laws and policy to fix the inequality and oppression that exists within our society. If there were a law, if there were a policy, if there were something that could be put into place, then it would be there. When you wrote the Constitution of the United States of America, they so clearly defined what a citizen was. And since then, every minority in the country has been trying to prove that they are a citizen of a country that they were either born into or were here for originally. So it's hard to sit back and listen to the hypocrisy of these politicians when they talk about loving God and the country being founded on Christian values. Slavery was legal in this country when it was founded. Many of the founding fathers had slaves. People were sexually assaulted. People were brutalized. They were attacked. And the only reason for a lot of them was the color of their skin. I don't believe those to be Christian values. I grew up in church. I grew up learning the Word of God and how to be like Jesus in a Southern Baptist church. And so it's hard knowing what a Christian is supposed to be. They're supposed to be Christ-like. And seeing them desecrate the image of God while claiming that they are working in God has made me realize the biggest attack on Christianity in the modern day is Christian nationalism. See, the Bible and Christianity teaches that we are all made in the image of God. We are that divinity manifest physically for others to observe with our dull senses. And if you are to take that as the truth, as you should in your faith as a Christian in the United States, every time you talk down on someone, every time you hurt them, you brutalize, you assault people, you are desecrating the image of God. And you are stepping all over everything Christianity represents. And it's easy. Jesus gave only 2 commands in the New Testament. 2 commands. Jesus said to love God and love neighbor. That's it. And we can't seem to get that down, yet we want to perpetuate and act in a way that we deem is godly. Inequality exists in the United States. oppression exists in the United States. What does that oppression look like? Well, the inequality in wealth in current day United States of America is greater than the inequality between the working class and the ruling wealthy class back in 1789 France before they had their revolution. We have a greater wealth inequality than a group of people that were so fed up with it and so tired of the mistreatment that they rose up against their own government. And here we are, we can't even decide on what is right and what is wrong anymore. We can't come together in the current state, and that's the goal. You're too busy and focused on whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you forget your humanity. We see genocide, and instead of saying it's wrong, we start to try to make talking points to defend it. You add nuance where a situation doesn't need it. You can say that killing someone is wrong. Maybe there's a means to justify it, but what happens when you kill 60,000 people? What happens when you create an economic system that keeps them repressed for so long they can't get a leg up, and then you blame them and try to control that population for the oppression that they've received that was outside of their hands? How do you right those wrongs? Why right them? Why correct them? Why not drive people further apart? Why not oppress them even more? It seems to work. We all buy into it. We're doing their dirty work for them. Billionaires and politicians don't have to get their hands dirty. They're not the ones working. They're not breaking their backs. They're not losing their homes. They're not getting sick with no health care, nowhere to go. 22-year-old kid died the other day because his inhaler got too expensive. He chose to die and couldn't afford an inhaler. The way forward is clear. The way to fix things is clear. The way to make this better is clear. Stop looking to your left and your right. Stop listening to the politicians and the billionaires about who your enemy is. Stop buying into the propaganda. Stop being a puppet for those who benefit off of your oppression, for those who benefit off of our division. Don't give them the power. Our solidarity, our unity as a working class is the easiest way to make change, meaningful and impactful change that benefits all of us. The idea of us coming together, it scares power. It scares money. And the more people that can realize that, wake up, accept that, and spread that message, the more scared they're going to get, and the more powerful we become as a people.